of Yisrael. He said, let us flee from the face of Yisrael, for Yah fighting for them against the Mezarenes. And Yah said unto Musa, stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Mezrine, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Musa stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength. When the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and Yah overthrew the Mezrine in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them, their enemies, there remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall upon them on their right hand and on their left. And thus Yah saved Israel that day out of the hands of Mezrine, and Israel saw Mezarenes dead upon the seashore. I'm going to start right there. Come on, man. I read that. I was going to read just one part of the verse, but y'all just definitely said read the whole thing. And look how y'all directed that. You know, he said y'all got behind them with the pillar of the cloud and pillar of fire, and he fought the Mezarenes, man. He told Musa to put up his hand, man, and divide the sea from one side to the left side. And he said all night, man, the sea was divided, man, and it dried the ground for the children of Yisrael to walk right through. They walked right through there. Then y'all let the Mezarenes come on to chase them, man. The horsemen, the chariots. And then he took the wheels off. They drove them hard. And then when they started driving hard, the Mezarenes started fleeing because y'all fights for them. They said that. They seen that. Y'all fights for them. You know what I'm saying? They seen that. There was no excuse. Even Yisrael seen that. That y'all, think about it. You walking on dry ground, you talking about walls of water, man. Walls of water. Ain't no little water right there where you can see the ocean over there like this. No, these were walls, man. You could not see over that. You walking right through there? Just your deliverance of Yahuwah? That's why he said, y'all said it provokes to me, these people. That's why y'all was angry, man. That's why y'all said these 10 times. He was done with these people. Done with them, man, when I built the calf. Aaron told me, man, I made this go to poop, and there it comes out the calf. Aaron said some crazy stuff. What about Aaron say some crazy stuff like that? And he was right there with him. Knew what Yahuwah did. That's why it's no excuse. That's why y'all was mad. Even y'all say that too. I can show you. In the book where y'all say he was still mad at Aaron when he died. He died on Mount. I forgot what mountain he died on. He too Musa that. You know what I'm saying? For him building that calf. Because he knew there was no excuse. None. So there still ain't no excuse. Still no excuse. That's why I'm saying when you see the things of y'all, there's be no excuse. But y'all says when you have faith, blessed that man, because that's what he told. That's why he told Didymus. They're gonna read that. Thomas. But that's first. Let's go. Before we get there, I want to read a little bit on Gideon real quick. Let's read Gideon. I want to read Gideon real quick. Judges chapter 6. Then we got Thomas, and we'll be done. All right. Let's go to Judges 6.
This is how you know y'all love Israel. Love make you do some crazy things. Y'all is in love with Israel.
That's right. He's in love with Yisrael because it's coming to Abraham. Think about how you love Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Then how he prophesied to put them in Yisrael and put them in Mezrine. You know, then how he brought them out. That's some love. Because they were worshiping all kind of stuff in Mezrine. They don't forget about y'all.
And then Yahusha came down and died for him.
Oh, come on now. Now you're preaching, bro. Go ahead, boy.
Tell him, man, y'all is in love with Israel.
I like when you say that, but you say it when it's wrong.
Deep love.
What I don't get is this, man.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? We're in the modern military now. You know?
Yeah.
And see, I drive over my tanks and all that. And I see 2 walls with big ass walls. The general said, go through. I'm like, what? You just saw this? You know? These guys are horseback with spears. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
No joke.
Yeah, I'm like, you want me to fight that?
flesh should not enter the kingdom of Yah. That's why you're going to have a new body in this. That's why we have to die with this flesh. We already know what this flesh is capable of. And when a man, like I share with that, and that's why I share with people in this house and TV land and everybody else, when you come through here, you got to die. Elder King can tell you that through the apostolic faith. That's part of it. That's why I'm glad y'all put me through the apostolic faith. Going to church all my life, but when I ran across the apostolic faith part of it, that's when it is dealing with the rock and the flesh. That's when you had to deal with it, and the flesh ain't trying to hear. The flesh, my flesh is still trying to go in the fornicate. My flesh still want to commit adultery. My flesh still want to go get drunk. My flesh still want to go get high. My flesh still want to gamble. My flesh still want to play. My flesh loves sin, point blank.
Everybody loves sin.
But the flesh got consequences.
You got one thing in common, huh?
There's consequences, man. You already know the consequence of the flesh that loves to sin is death. But the gift of y'all is life, and that's when you die.
Thank you,
And you know what I'm saying? That's why y'all use the same. Everybody thinks it's right there in Romans, but no, it's going all the way back to Deuteronomy, man. If you be obedient, it goes all the way back. Really, like my brother said, he like going to Bereshit, chapter 3. Me too. Right there by the tree of knowledge, good and evil. It goes right back to there. There you go. Then it goes right there with Samuel told King Saul. Rebellious. You know what I'm saying? You can't do the whole word. You know? But like I said, we are inexcusable because we got the Darmarine. We are inexcusable now because we are the image of Yah. We are his children. We are marked. There's no. Judges 6:22, 6 chapter 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yah, and Yah delivered down into the hands of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, and because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them dens which are in the mountains, and caves and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till you come into Gazar, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude, for both they and their camels were without numbers, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites. And the children of Israel cried unto Yah. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto Yah because of the Midianites, that Yah sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus says Yah, Elohim Yahuwah of Yisrael, I brought you up from Mizraim, and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And there you go, it's a testimony. See, they're inexcusable. That's what Yahushua do. Yahushua, you gotta remember what Yah does. Yah always goes back to the root of it. And he gives you an outline. That's what I love about Yahuwah. He says, I done brought you out of bondage, out of Mizraim. I done showed you. Let me continue on reading. And I delivered you out of the hand of Mizraim, out of the hand of all that oppress you, and drove them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am Elohim your Yah. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell, but you have not obeyed my voice. And there came an angel, a Melech of Yah, and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, that pertaineth unto Joas and Abiezar, right, and his sons Gideon threshing wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the Melech of Yah appeared unto him and said unto him, Yah is with you, you mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, O my Yah, if Yah be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our father told us, saying, Did not Yah bring us up from Mizraim? But now Yah hath forsaken us and delivers us unto the hands of the Midianites. Now start right there. This one I want to read about verse 13. That's why they're inexcusable, because see, every generation the word was passed down, but what y'all did to the the Israelites, to the Egyptians. So they know they are excused. They know the power of Yah. That's what he said in verse 13. Gideon said unto him, O my Yah, if Yah be with us, why then is all this befallen us? All this evil. And where be all his miracles? Where be all his miracles? Which our fathers told us of, saying, did not Yah bring us up from Mizraim? They told him how Yah brought them up to Mizraim. Know why they told him? Because they were still keeping, Brother Faith, they were still keeping the feast days, bro. That's one thing they knew about it, especially when Pastor come through. How Yah came through. Like I done read in Exodus, how Yah destroyed the Nazarenes through the Red Sea and everything. He was asked about that. Where are the miracles? You call me a mighty man of valor. He's telling the Melchizedek that. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that, but that's what I'm saying. They are inexcusable. They know they're inexcusable because they was in sin. That's why they're in that situation.
Correct.
Every time you're in a situation like that, and you be falling all that, destroyed, they up in the mountains, man, scared. Because every time you go out there, man, the Mennonites, the Amorites, and all that, destroying everything like grasshoppers because they was sin. That's why I want to share that. They was inexcusable. Israel was inexcusable at that time because they knew better. Let's go to chapter 22, same chapter. Verse 22, same chapter, excuse me. And when Gideon perceived that he was a Melech of Yah, Gideon said, Allah, O Yah Elohim, for because I have seen a Melech of Yah face to face, and Yah said unto him, peace be unto you, fear not, you shall not die. Then Gideon built an altar there upon Yah, unto Yah, and called it Yahuwah Shalom. Until this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. And it came to pass the same night that Yah said unto him, take your father's young bullock, even a second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that your father hath, and cut it down the grove that is by it, and build an altar unto Yah, to Elohim your Yah, upon the top of this rock in the ordered place. And take the second bullock and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants and did as Yah had said unto him. And so it was because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, that he did it by night. And when the men of the city rose early in the morning, and behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it, and the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said one to another, who hath done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon the son of Joash hath done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, bring out your son that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, will you plead for Baal? Will you save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death. Go ahead, Father. While it is yet morning, if he be a god, let him plead for himself, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore on that day called him Jerubbaal, saying, let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Okay, I'll start right there. Inexcusable. Gideon already know he inexcusable. But why? He said, I don't see y'all face to face. You know, you put that sacrifice and y'all hit that sacrifice that burned up. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I don't see y'all. Then y'all told him, go and tear down that altar. And go turn down that grove. Not the altar of Baal. You know what I'm saying?
That was a goddess. That was natural.
I understand. Why they know that? Well, thank you.
Yeah, you remember I did that?
Yeah. But Baal, I knew it was Baal. I already knew that, but I knew it was Astro.
A lot of people don't know who Baal really is. But
Yeah.
The grove right here was Asherah.
Good. That's what the god of the Egyptians anyway.
They're doing Mother Goddess worship right now.
Okay.
Just a shot.
Well, thank you. But like I said, he was inexcusable. That's why I want to get at y'all telling about He was inexcusable. You understand that? But he did it. He tore it down. But check this out. This is what y'all always get me. Yeah, you might can't get it right then and there during the daytime because his father in the city, but he got some men that did it at nighttime. You understand that? Got smart about it, but the job got done. I don't care how you do it, get the job done. You understand that? I don't care how you do it. If you can't do it today, get it at night. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. That's what I love about Gideon. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he couldn't get it in the daytime, but he got it at nighttime. And then when he got it at nighttime, his father stood up for him. And I love how his father, now that's a father. Even though he was wrong first, he stood up for his son. Because his son was right. He said, if let Baal plead for himself. That's what we got to do. You serve these guys because what he was doing is he was putting Yahuwah at stake. Yahuwah, if you was y'all, we're going to show now. That's what he said. If Baal, let him plead for himself. If not, just shut up. That's what he told him straight up. You can't do nothing. Y'all need to shut up. Which we already knew. They showed a fake God anyway. He was false. We already knew that. Let's go Judges 7, verse 9. Last day of Gideon real quick. That's why I used Gideon today because he was inexcusable. Chapter 7, verse 9. And it came to pass the same night that Yah said unto him, Arise and get you down to the host, for I deliver it unto your hand. But thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah, your servant, down to the host. Thou shalt hear what they say, and afterwards shall thy hands be strengthened to go down into the host. Then went he down with Purah, his servant, unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Mennonites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east laid along in the valley like grasshoppers, for multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dream a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of the Midians, and came into the tent, and smote it, that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay alone. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else, save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Yesarel, for into his hand have Yah delivered the Mennonites and all the hosts. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned to the host of Yesarel, and said, Arise, for Yah hath delivered unto your hand the host of the Mennonites. And he divided 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand, and an empty pitcher and lamp and within the pitcher. And he said to them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, and it shall be that as I do, so shall you do. When I blow with the trumpet, and I will all that are with me, then blow you the trumpet also on every side of all the camp, and to say, The sword of Yah of Gideon. So Gideon and 100 men that were with him came into the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch, and they had but nearly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and were in their hands, and the 3 companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands, and the trumpets in their right hands, to blow withal. And they cried, The sword of Yah and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled. And I'll start right there. There was no excusable. The reason I say there's no excusable, when Yah says, Well, you got a little fear, I want you to go down there to the camp, close to the edge. And when he heard that dude talk about the dream, and the dude interpreted it, says, This is nothing but the sword of Gideon. You know what I'm saying? He got strengthened. So I'm trying to say, when he's seen that, there's no excusable now. He had a little fear on it. Even though y'all done did all these miracles, man. You know what I'm saying? done kept them for the altar. He done did I didn't read about the what you said, the fleece test. You did it 3 times. You know, if it's you, y'all, you want me to go do this, man, put the fleece out, let it be dry with the fleece and wet around it. And he did it, and then he did it again. Let the fleece be wet and let the ground be dry and all that. He did that. All right. He did it down about picking up the men, about 10,000 men. You know, and he got all right down to 300. But now he said, if your heart fear you, I want you to go down there. And he went down and heard this dream and heard the interpretation of the dream. These two don't know no Gideon, man. Who was Gideon? He was the smallest of the tribe. But he talking about this is a sword of Gideon. You know what I'm saying? The Yah. Somebody speaking your name out there. Don't even know your name. Think about that. Somebody speaking your name don't even know you. You know, talking about what Yah is going to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was no excuse for Gideon. Same thing with us. When y'all give us a message, when y'all give us a dream, when the man of God speaks the word, or y'all give you the word through the Dabarim, there ain't no excuse. None. He encourages you through the word, because nobody don't know that what you're going through, but y'all speaking to you through the man of Yah. Y'all speaking to the Dabarim. Y'all speak to you a dream, because y'all say he speaks to the man of Yah through dreams and visions to encourage you. So when he does that, there's no excuse. There's none. That's what he did. That's why I read this with Gideon. So when Gideon get that, boy, he got up and said, I'm encouraged now. He got the man. You say, you do as I do. He got the pitcher and he got the trumpet. That's all they did. They got scared. Or the pitcher and the trumpet. It wasn't no guns. It wasn't no knives. It wasn't nothing. Then he would go get the troops. Think about that. All right, come on. A few more scriptures. Yakanan chapter 20. Chapter 20, 24. All right. All right. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen Yah. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my fingers into the print of other nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I would not believe. And after 8 days again his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, reach hither your finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither your hands, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Yah, and my Elohim. And Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Because blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. And many other signs truly did Yahushua in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. All right? But these are written that you might believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach, the Son of Yah, and that believing you might have life through his name. Okay, now I read this one because Thomas said, man, that's 7 days. He said, we have seen Yah. Unless I don't see the handprints of his hands, you know what I'm saying? He was there. Or thrust my finger to the side with that sword went through there. Unless I was there, I'm not believing. You ain't got me. When the door shut 7 days, when there was communion, Yahushua in the midst of them, what? Here they see Yahushua come through the door. So I'm like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua came to sit on the floor, man. And he called out Thomas himself. Come here, Thomas. Think about y'all coming out you. Come here. Come out here. Out of everybody. And he wasn't even there 7 days ago. That would have got me already. He'd have messed me up. Yahushua called me out like that, I would have been done. God taught all that smack 7 days ago. Lest I believe, lest I see. I ain't believing lest I see. You know I know my mouth already. I'm talking junk already. Then Yahushua called me out. 7 days after they called me out. You tell me, y'all, touch my hands. Thrust your hands to the side, but believe. Tell me that because you see, you believe. But best of them that have not seen, believe. That's what I'm trying to say is, he had no excuse now. He done messed his mouth up. He had no excuse of worshiping Yahushua then. He seen Yahushua for himself. You understand that? He's seen the signs and wonders. He's seen the miracles. There's no excuse. That's what Yahushua do with us. There's no excuse when we see stuff like that. But he said the ones that don't believe but see and go ahead and do the thing, they are blessed. Because I ain't seen Yahushua. I felt the rock of dish, but Yahushua himself, I ain't not seen. I ain't not seen the hands, and I ain't not seen the side where he got stabbed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't not seen his glorified body. I ain't seen when he was on the cross. I didn't see when he healed. I ain't seen none of that. But he said, because I believe, blessed are you. You know? All right, let's go to John chapter 11. That's why I said it's an inexcusable old man. That's why he told me, man, this excuse, we got the Darbarine, man. We got associates, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, the men and women in the house of Yah. The stranger in outside the street, the stranger inside outside your gate, man. You got Melachis unaware talking to y'all. You don't even know. You got Melachis always talking to you. You know, many times, I mean one time, I still, man, knew it was a Melachis. I was on my way running to work, Kinston, when I was working in Kinston, man, so I used to stop at the Family Dollar store, and on that long little ride, 45 minutes, I used to get my snack, man. I used to be getting potato chips, cookies, you know, soda, because that's a 45-minute ride. Man, I went in there, man, this dude started talking to me real quick. He was saying some things, he was praising, he said something real quick. Next minute, man, I went and turned back around, he was gone, man. And he didn't go out the store, I was looking for this dude, man. Gone like that. I said, yo, man, you better keep him. I said, you know, I was right. I was always saying right with y'all anyway, but still, boy, I was making sure, man, y'all, one of your Melachis, man, let me do right before him if I didn't present him wrong or anything like that. Oh, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say, man. You don't know who you speak to unaware. That's why you don't talk all these nasty, you know, crazy stuff around people, man. You know that people want to be jump ready to speak and ready to talk their mouth. You don't know who you're speaking to, man. That's why you need to keep your mouth shut and listen for a minute, then before you speak. I'm just trying to help somebody. All right. John chapter 11. We'll talk about Lazarus real quick. Not going to be long. Got a couple more scriptures. One more scripture after that. We good. Remember, we're talking about the revelations of the Most High, the Word of the Most High. We're talking about mom and dad and association and really the true revelation of Yahuwah. That's why there's no excusable. That's why you're inexcusable. You got no excuses. There's no excuses. All right. John, chapter 11, verse 1. Now a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed Elohim with the anointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Yah, behold, he whom you love is sick. And when Yahushua heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of Yah, that the Son of Yah might be glorified thereof. And Yahushua loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus, and when he had heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. And then after that he said he would to his disciple, let us go into Judea again. All right. Again, I want you to look at the verse 4. The verse I'm talking about, chapter 11, verse 4. Then Yahushua heard that he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of Yah, that the Son of Yah might be glorified thereby. I want to talk about the glorification of Yah. When Yah is always glorified, the glorification of Yah, when Yah is made known that his glory exists, that he's the creator of all heaven and earth, that there's none like him, there's no excuse for you. That he may be glorified. That's why Yahushua did this. Yahushua could have went the first day. He said he abode 2 days afterwards. He said the one that you love is sick. And we're talking about the day when you sick back in those days, and they still do it, which I know is still true today. Because we're in Burundi, when they say they're sick, there ain't no sick like we get sick. When they say you're sick over there, you about to die. Because Pastor Desiree said that. My mother's sick, that means they go check her out. Because it might be the last time they get a chance to see her. They say stuff like that. I understand when they say sick. They ain't talking about you got a common cold. He ain't bring you Yahushua because you got a cold. You up there sneezing. You got a 24-hour virus. You gonna have Yahushua come like that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua come, that's cool. But Lazarus was sick. Lazarus was about to die. And Yahushua stayed 2 days? He did die, yes sir. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua's sticking around 2 days, chilling. Okay, let's go on, man. Hold y'all up. Verse 40. And Yahushua said unto her, say I not unto you, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of Yah. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Abba, I thank you that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, behold, bound hands and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. And Yahushua said unto them, loosen him and let him go. And then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the thing which Yahushua did believe on him. All right? Okay. The point that I want to get at this one, I'm going to verse 40. Jesus said unto them, I said unto you that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of Yah. The glory of Yah. When he said that Yah, I like where Inexcusable say this right here. He says right here in verse 42, and I knew that thou hearest me always, is what Yahushua saying. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. You understand that Yahushua did this for a reason. So they may believe that Yahuwah sent Yahushua, that they may see the glory. I read the first part of the glory, and I'm trying to share it, is the glory of Yah. They seen the glory of Yah. All the people around there, even the Pharisees that didn't want to believe, because there was a Pharisee there, ran the cow piss. You couldn't continue reading. They straight up ran the cow piss. Straight up lied on Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's unexcusable for them. But anybody that was there at that time is going to be excused because he done read the dead. The man was dead 4 days. Who died 4 days and get out the grave? Nobody. That's why Yahushua showed the glory of Yah. They seen the presence of Yah. They seen the power of Yah. That's why it was no excuse for them. If you didn't believe in Yah then, you were done, man. Done. So while we see people right now dead with a heart attack, get back up 30 minutes, 40 minutes. People get hit, they're supposed to be dead, they come out of an accident. No hurt, no pain. This is of Yah. You know what I'm saying? It ain't of the devil. Think about this. You get healed. And you watching this get healed. You're not giving Yah the praise. This is give Yah the glory. How you give Yah the glory? You say, Yahuwah, thank you. Praise him. You tell everybody else what Yah has done. So Yah's name will be glorified. That's why there'll be no excuse for you. None. That's why I speak these things. Y'all dealt with me this morning, talking about 3 things. The Darbarine, that's why there'll be no excuse in America. There'll be no excuse for everybody. I say from my birth and up. I ain't gonna talk about you, Elder. I'm gonna talk about mine, 1966 and up. Ain't gonna be no excuse. We all can read. Darbarine. And then the ones that your mama and daddy took you to church, or your grandmother, your grandpapa, association. Like we found out Mother Coles used to take me and my brothers to church, man, when we was little. I didn't know that. Think about that. There's always somebody taking you to church when you're growing up, man. So I like that now. But that's the one that brought us to church when my mom and dad was working and stuff. When we was little. I didn't know that. Mama told me that. I said, wow. When my bad little self at 5 or 6 years old, taking us to the house of Yah. Think about that. So there's no excuse for me. That's what y'all doing. You got that? And then the one thing y'all told me, that he get the glory, is the revelation of Yah. Yah will make himself known to you. Because everybody seek Yah. We're the image of Yah. Inside. He wants that relation like Brother Fader, that love. He loves us, man. All that Yah did for us, to redeem us, to bring us back. He ain't going to let us not go out and let know him. He's going to give you a chance to at least know him one time. 2 times, 20 times, 1 billion times, but one time, you're going to know who Yahuwah is. He gonna have that revelation. He will know. That's why there's no excuse. That's why you get the books open for the day of judgment. There gonna be books open. Ain't gonna be no one book. But there better be one book your name better be in. You know what I'm saying? That last book of life. Your name better be in that book. You must be born of the water and spirit to get your name in that book. That's right. I don't care if you're Yesarel. We're Yesarel here. That don't mean nothing. You're not getting there. I'm talking about for eternity. Glorified body. Now, as the second covenant, the new covenant. That old covenant ain't done away with. There's a new covenant through Yahusha. You must be born again. Get your name written in that book. You know, there ain't no playing on that one. Their books be open. So that's why there ain't no excuse, because y'all is writing everything down. All these Melchies around us, you don't see this working for y'all. They're writing everything with you down. They're writing everything. If you want in that bed like me, didn't want to get up and try to get excuses not coming to the house of y'all, you read it down. Oh, y'all, he's making excuses. They're talking about me, the pastor, the bishop. Look at him, y'all, making excuses. They wrote that down. But I kicked that out the door. I said, nah, you ain't getting me. I got my butt up and told Richard, I said, man, I'm sorry, it's a Shabbat. Let me go get you something to eat, man. Now come to the house of Yah. You know, I thank y'all because when you put it in your spirit, you rock, and you desire to serve him, you don't care about anything. You go out there and worship him. Because we already know there's no excuse right now. The ones that got in the race, like us, made our confession, our proclamation, our declaration, all that stuff before y'all, there's no excuse no more. We already said it out of our mouth. That's what y'all going to use against us, our mouth. All right, anybody got any questions? TV Land, salvation is near. It's here to you today. You want to be saved? Give me a call. Salutations to all the churches in Burundi, bishops in India, pastors and all that stuff, and my brothers and my sisters, I love you. You know, Bishop Ron says salutations to you. May y'all bless and keep you. May y'all make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. May y'all live his comfort upon you, give peace in Yahushua's name. May y'all make you ride on a high place of earth, feet the hair of your cold, with the hairs of Yosef cold, with the hairs of Abraham, for the mouth of Yah spoken, for the mouth of Yah spoken, for the mouth of Yah spoken, in Yahushua's name. May Yah always bless you and keep you this day. Bishop Ron says salutation to everybody in the house of Yahuwah and TV Land. Shalom. All right. Man, awesome, man. I got to compete with my brother and Minister Favor, boy. Y'all be straight hitting it, boy.